There is a capital city on Earth sinking by almost 1 foot every year. And the same country doing this is ranked top 10 in the world for advanced nanotechnology. That contradiction should be impossible unless we are using the wrong mental model. I think we should stop treating countries like political news or stories. They are complex pieces of technology. They have hardware, they run operating system, they develop bugs. Sometimes they crash and sometimes they get jailbroken. So the first country we are going to decode is Iran. And this is not just the normal version, this is 2025 model. This device has science specs that beat the UK, a crypto powered battery that West can't shut down, and a cooling system that is literally destroying the ground beneath it. Now, before you click away thinking this is just another political rant about sanctions, Islamic fundamentalism, supreme leadership, or oil, that is the old firmware. That is the outdated 1980s mental model. I want to talk about the hardware and the software of a civilization that has been offline for nearly 45 years. Because while the West has been focused on politics, Iran has been undergoing a quiet, terrifying, and honestly impressive mutation. They are running a custom operating system, and the results are wild. First, let's look at the spec sheet. If I asked you to list the top tech superpowers in the world, you know the list, but there is a glitch in the matrix. If you pull up the data from the Web of Science for 2024 and 2025, which basically tracks the peer-reviewed scientific papers, and you filter by nanotech, you'll be amazed to see who shows up there. So China is number 1, obviously. USA is number 2, India is number 3, but scroll down and sitting at number 6 is Iran. Number 6. This is the country that is under the heaviest sanctions regime in human history. They cannot legally import advanced electron microscopes. They can't just go on Amazon and buy the sensors they need. They are literally cut from the global supply chain. So how are they out publishing Germany? This is what experts call the Sanctions Paradox. See, when you sanction a country, you think you are turning off the lights, but actually you are just forcing them to build their own generator. Because they couldn't buy the tech, they had to reverse engineer the science behind the tech. It's like if I took away your phone, so you went into your garage and built a circuit board from scratch. It might be ugly, it might be clunky, but you understand the phone better than I do now. And it's not just nano. Look at the biotech specs. According to the Vice Presidency for Science, Iran is ranked number 8 globally in stem cell production. They have a struggling airline fleet, but they are biohacking the human body at a top 10 level. This is an insane distribution of resources. So on paper, the specs look incredible. The processor is fast, the RAM is high, but ask any tech reviewer, high specs don't matter if the build quality is falling apart. And that brings us to the thermal throttling. See, every high performance machine generates heat, and if you don't manage that heat, the system melts. In Iran's case, the heat is survival and the system is the physical geography of the country. This is the part of the review where we find the fatal flaw. This is the Bendgate or the Note 7 battery explosion, but on a planetary scale. So to survive the sanctions, Iran needed food and they could not rely on imports. Self-sufficiency became the national slogan. So they started farming, and they started pretty aggressively. They drilled over 1 million wells in the desert floor to suck up the water for wheat, pistachios, and other crops. So when you drain an aquifer, that is the sponge under the ground, the soil, it dries out. And when the soil dries out, it compacts and it shrinks. So what is the result? The result is Tehran is shrinking. And I don't mean that metaphorically. According to the 2025 Geological Survey of Iran, parts of Tehran are experiencing land subsidence of up to 31 centimeters per year. That's like a foot every year. If we put that in context, in engineering world, if a city sinks 4 millimeters, we call a state of emergency because the bridges break, pipes burst, and Tehran is sinking 70 times faster than the critical threshold. It's like they hacked the code to get food security, but they corrupted the hard drive. They are winning the science war, but they are losing the soil. And that's the trade-off. Because when you run a machine at 100% capacity with no cooling fan, eventually the motherboard cracks. It gets a bit more weirder because you have to ask yourself, how are they paying for all this? If the bank accounts are frozen, there is no foreign funding, there is no imports or exports, and the SWIFT is blocked. Where is the cash coming from? Let me introduce you to the ultimate side hustle of Iran, crypto mining. Iran looked at the situation and realized we have something the world wants, but we can't sell easily. That is the oil. And we need something the world uses, but we can't buy easily. That is dollars. So they build a bridge, and the bridge is Bitcoin. So here's the setup. Burn the cheap oil in domestic power plants, generate massive amount of electricity, use the electricity to power server farms, and mine Bitcoin. According to Chainalysis and the other tracking firms in 2025, Iran turned into a global fortress for crypto mining. They are literally turning energy into code. And think about how smart this is. You can sanction a bank wire, you can sanction a ship, but you cannot sanction a math equation on the blockchain. They take that Bitcoin and they use it to pay for imports like car parts, medicine, tech, and this is the ultimate workaround. It's like bypassing the DRM on a video game. Just like the sinking ground, this comes at a cost as well. Pollution is off the charts in Iran. The grid blackouts are constant. It's like they are burning the furniture to keep the house warm. So we have the hardware, that is Nanotech. We have the thermal throttling, that is sinking ground. We have the battery hack, which is crypto mining. But what about the user experience? What about the people? And this is where this review gets a bit sad, because Iran has a bug in the operating system that cannot be patched, and it's called the brain drain. Imagine you build a Ferrari, you spend millions designing the engine, you polish the paint, and it's just a masterpiece. And then you park it in your neighbor's garage and give him the keys. This is the Iranian economy. They spend billions educating these kids. Sharif University, Tehran University, these places are harder to get into than Oxford and MIT. And honestly speaking, the talent is undeniable, but look at the retention rates. According to Iran's Migration Observatory, nearly 70% of students who go abroad never come back. They become doctors in Canada, engineers in Silicon Valley, and researchers in Australia. The Iranian government is effectively subsidizing the workforce of the West. And look at the women. This is the statistics that will blow your mind every time you will read it. If you go to a university in Iran, you will see that over 60% of the students are women. They are dominating the STEM fields. But look at the labor market. Female participation in Iran is stuck at only 14%. That is an enormous waste of processing power. It's like buying the most powerful gaming PC on earth and using it to play solitaire. You have this incredible resource, educated and capable women, and the operating system, that is the laws, the culture, the economy, the religion, they won't let them run at a full speed. So what is the verdict on Iran? Well, it's complicated. Most people see Iran as a broken device, but I don't see it that way. I see a device that has been overclocked. The pressure of sanctions didn't break them. It forced them to mutate. It created a cyborg civilization, a place where you have world-class nanotech scientists working in buildings which are shrinking into the earth, a place where the government uses 21st century crypto to bypass 20th century banks, and a place where the people are using Starlink to bypass the state's censorship. So the hardware is powerful, the software is glitchy, and the battery is overheating. The West keeps waiting for Iran to collapse. But when you look at the specs, when you look at the resilience, you realize they are not collapsing. They are just becoming something stranger. Let me know in the comments, did you guys know about the Nanotech stats or the sinking city? I'm curious to see what you guys think. If you like this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next one.